death is the moment that you will relieve this life and go to see God. Yeah, go to the heaven, that according to Christianity. And for ancient Greek, they believe that when you die, you will go to the permanent life. That's why they always bury people with many things like gold, precious things, and even people with them, because they believe the life after death, for that one is permanent. However, I just want to mention about Buddhism. So, in the first sutta after enlightenment, the Buddha talk is Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and the Buddha mentioned about the Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination, and that in that thing, the final factor is marana. Marana is death, right? Death is the thing that we cannot avoid. Even you try not to think about it, or you try to avoid it, but you cannot help yourself, because that is the obvious thing. People cannot avoid it. And in Buddhism, in Abhidhamma, and I read some book, and they mention in Abhidhamma, the venerable Buddha Kusachan said that the moment when you die and they call Bhagwan, and that's one we decide wherever you go after death, they call reborn. Yeah. Yes.
Judicata, that moment is Judicata. That Jada and Judicata.
Yes, okay. First is Bhagwan Vajita, and after that Judicata, right?
The sleeping and the death.
Oh,
And this is the...
So that moment is very important. That's why whether yourself or your relative, we have to acknowledge that kind of thing. In that moment, if you are a Buddhist monk or Buddhist follower, it's very important if you keep mindfulness and using your knowledge about life, like as another venerable already mentioned 3 characteristics of life, like anicca, dukkha, anatta, and realize the truth, the obvious thing in life, so that we can be mindful together with mindfulness and chanting for the people, and that is very good way to help the consciousness of the deaf people to go in the right way. And another things that I want to mention, that like because of like death, in Buddhism we believe that death is not over, but death is just like the beginning of another journey. So if we are not the enlightenment one yet, so we still have to reborn again and again, many lives. So if like as we know that Bhutan is the country, the land of happiness, and they try to teach the people to follow Buddhism, not try to, but they original follow Buddhism, Buddha's teaching, and every day they spend about 5 minutes to think about death. They contemplating about death. That's why they just easy for them to welcome the death with them. So it is good if we also can follow that way. Now that's all for my idea. Thank you so much.
Very interesting and very clear about the death, the definition of the death in the science and in Buddhism. In the science, the death is means the heart, no breathing. And first in the Buddhism, she mentioned about the Abhidhamma, but this is not the Bhagavad Gita. This is the time we death, we have the death Gita. Bhagavad Gita is mean the same the days, and death Gita is another, and death Gita to link with the rebirth, not the Bhagavad Gita. First, the Bhagavad Gita is the last Gita, release your body. Yes, that Gita first, after that we go to the Bhagavad Gita, and this is the last one. The same in the Mahayana, we say the Bhagavad Gita is the soul consciousness, and the soul consciousness in the dead people, the last consciousness go out. And so that's in Mahayana, we waiting 8 hours after that, because the 8 consciousness still in the body until the 9 consciousness. So that we go out, waiting 8 hours. And the science, they know why we wait for 8 hours, because the heat element in your body to cool down. We need 8 hours. And the Buddha mentioned about the death, it means that your 4 elements to go out. The first is the breathing. It means that your breathing out, stop. The second is the movement. This means the breathing and the heat. And when the heat stop, and the water, the heat stop, and then that is the term we death. In the Sutta in Nikaya, that is the mention of the death in the Sutta and in the science. And they want to say with us that we can practice face with the death every day. When we practice 10 minutes, we know we death, and we practice with the death, we bear the death every day, like Tibet tradition, Varajana. They also practice the contemplate the death every day. This is her sharing about the face with the death. Thank you for brother and sister. And the last one,